those who are in the UK, to all our viewers, wherever you are in the world, to those who are in France, Belgium, you're looking at us, French speakers, bonjour, everywhere in the world. I'm so happy to have you again on our platform, Laurence Motivationals. I'm Laurence from Laurence Motivationals, and this is a platform where we encourage entrepreneurs, and we also help people to networking. We encourage networking as well. So today we have a special guest, and I'm so pleased to introduce her. She will also talk about herself. Her name is Marsha Brown. She will introduce herself. We're not in the same room. You might think, oh, how come they've got the same background? You will notice that Marsha and I will not look at each other all along because we're not in the same room. It's just the background that we used. I thought it was quite relaxing to have, a fire behind us, the environment. So Marsha, I hope you like the background.
I love it.
So thank you so much, Marsha, to have accepted my invitation on Laurence Motivationals. And I will explain as well at the end also what we do. But at the moment, the focus is on Marsha Brown. So Marsha, to you, tell us a bit about yourself, Marsha.
Okay,
Who is Marsha? Who is Marsha?
Thank you so much for having me and inviting me onto your amazing platform. Firstly, I want to thank you for that. So my name is Marsha Brown. I am a designer based here in Northampton, which is in the Midlands of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm a mother, I'm a designer, and I'm the owner of SOLO FLAIR.
Uh-huh.
SOLO FLAIR is a company that makes clothing, custom-made clothing for all special occasions. And when I say special occasions, I look at weddings, proms, and milestone birthdays. I have worked in the clothing industry for probably I'm going to show my age now. over 25 years. Oh my God.
You look 25 to me, Marsha, so I don't know when you started.
I started when I was 1.
Okay, I'll take that for explanation. Now, Marsha, tell us about the name SOLO FLAIR. Where's that name come from? What's the inspiration come from for that name?
Okay, when I set up the brand originally in 2011, I've always wanted my own clothing brand. I've always worked in fashion, and I was playing around with names. And SOLO FLAIR, I remember writing down so many different names for the company, and nothing was gelling or sticking with me. I was writing down a name and saying it out loud and asking friends and family, what do you think? What do you think? And they were like, I don't like this name. It doesn't sound right. And then for SOLO FLAIR, how the name actually generated, it was, I want people to feel that they've got a unique garment that is something that is bold. And my strapline is bold and uniquely made. And SOLO FLAIR, it is an individual style where solo as in one comes from.
Okay.
And flair is another word for fashion, unique style. So when I put SOLO FLAIR together, I was kind of like, do you know what? I really like the name. But then when I actually went out to do some research and asked family and friends again what they thought of the name, it was almost really hard for them to actually say the words. They kept going, SOLO FLAIR, SOLO FLAIR, because it wasn't a name that they've heard before. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to stick with this name, and eventually people will get used to hearing.
I like the name. Yeah.
The name of SOLO FLAIR, and that's how I birthed out my brand.
Amazing. Are you wearing one of your design?
Yes, I am. So I'm wearing an African print satin fabric.
Wow.
Normally the print is seen on cotton, but the supplier that I use, she's now testing out African prints on stretch material, on chiffon, on satin, and I just decided I needed this print. I think it's absolutely amazing. You know, it's got about 4 or 5 different colours in the print.
Well, I can see, yeah.
Clients, whenever they wear a printed garment, if you're not used to wearing prints, go for one of the colours in the print and wear that as a solid. So I have on black denim jeans today.
Wow.
I would always tell people to go for the brighter colour.
Yes.
And, maybe the accessories, I've got black and white
Yes.
accessories. This is
like
from another company that I work with. Yes, so I'm wearing one of my own designs today.
Amazing. I really like it. Yeah, I really like it. Inspiring. Now, Marsha, have you always, at the moment, we're talking about entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur, but have you always been an entrepreneur, or have you worked as an employee, or are you still working for a company at the moment? Are you professional, or are you, juggling between two? What exactly is your position at the moment? Or or the journey to entrepreneur?
Okay, so I have to probably go all the way back to when I graduated from the University of Gloucestershire,
Okay.
way back in
Up north. Yeah.
in 1999. And I left university and went straight into the world of fashion, working for different manufacturers and wholesalers.
Yeah.
So I worked in London for, I think I worked in London for about 15 years. But halfway through my journey of working in the industry, I started as a design assistant. So I
Okay.
graduated with a degree in fashion and technology.
Yeah.
Then went into, I worked as a design assistant, and I worked my way up in the technical side of fashion. So my role really was as a garment technologist. I would go out and oversee the factories, watch how they're producing some of our orders, checking that they're ethical and they're compliant to British standards. I did that for quite some time, but halfway through that journey, because I'm living in Northampton, a lot of my jobs were in either Luton, Coventry, or London.
Surrounding areas.
I was always commuting, and after a while, I didn't get satisfaction in me doing my work. I'd always give my best to all my companies that I worked with, but halfway through this journey, I started to think, I'm making my bosses millions. I worked with Two Clothing, which is a part of Sainsbury's. I oversaw the ladies' woven casual department, making them jeans, shirts, and cotton skirts. And I remember seeing, on occasions, we would have meetings on a Monday where we'd have to sit down and see what was selling well and what wasn't selling well.
Yes.
And I remember them talking about the facts and the figures and how much money Sainsbury's Clothing was making. And I was sitting there thinking, why am I putting in so much energy for them to make all this money? And at the end of the year, we would get a bonus, but our bonus would be maybe like 1%. And I'm like, so I started to tell my parents, I'm working really hard for these companies. I've done really well. I've gone to uni. I've done everything on paper, but I still wasn't satisfied. And I've always made clothes for friends, for family, for myself. And I started to look at how easy would it be for me to have my own business. And when you're working, doing a 9 to 5, sometimes you don't have the energy.
No.
When you finish work and you go home, you want to have your own business, but you've really got to put your, I say the hands to the plow. You're going to have to find energy from the deepest part of your core if you want your own business while you're working. And it so happened, when I was working for a company, I was really tired. I was doing a 2-hour commute down to Welwyn Garden City and a 2-hour commute coming back home. And at this point, I had 3 children at this point.
Wow.
I said to my parents, do you know what? I'm physically and mentally tired. And I took a risk, and I handed in my notice. It was quite crazy. I handed in my notice, Laurence, and I handed in my notice April 2011.
Wow.
May 2011, Solo Flair was born. But it didn't quite work out as I thought it would. I thought, I set up my Facebook page. My dad, bless him, he was there encouraging me every day, telling me how to promote my business. And I thought people were just going to run to me and give me work and buy stuff from me. And it didn't go to plan. So after some years, I had to go back into London as a freelancer. So I was freelancing for Topshop and some other well-known high street brands. but I still had Solo Flair along the side. So I was freelancing part-time while I was then understanding, how am I going to build on this business? How am I going to really push Solo Flair? And while I was freelancing, I was networking. I was getting some, I would say I was getting some links back in the industry. So if I needed to use them, I'm thinking, okay, I remember this buyer said, call her if I need any help. And there's a manufacturers in Bangladesh. If they said, Marsha, come in, we'll come and give us the orders, they'll help us. So I did that from 2014 up until around 2017. And then my freelancing kind of stopped. And I went on holiday and I came back. And after I came back from holiday, I realized I just had to refocus back on myself. In 2018, I then had my son. And it's almost like when my son was born, he kind of gave me a new purpose, because obviously my younger children had started to grow and they were able to look after themselves. But my youngest son made me realize I need to leave my children a legacy. I need to leave them a business, something transferable, that when I'm finally pass and leave, that they can continue on the brand. So in 2018, I decided to rebrand Solo Flair and just put every single bit of energy in me. So I'm on social media. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me everywhere, different platforms. And I started to focus a lot more. I was still a bit all over the shop with what was the message that I was trying to give out to my customers, because some days I'd be making skirts and other days I'd be making prom dresses. And I was doing that for a few years. And then in the pandemic, Laurence, my business halted in March of 2020. I had a book full of orders for proms, and then we were told lockdown, no work, and you can't leave your home. And that devastated me. I literally didn't know what to do. And everyone might have used this word, you might have heard it a few times, but I had to pivot my business. So I had to stop doing my prom dresses, special occasion wear. And I literally pivoted and started making African print head wraps with matching face masks. And I was doing that for the most of 2020. And that actually kept my business afloat. And, the bills were paid and I was very thankful.
Wow, you had to be creative.
And in that time, I was having clients from literally everywhere in the UK. I had clients from Manchester, from down south in Kent, in London. I had loads of people buying these face masks, because at that time no one could really get hold of the
I remember that
the cheap £1 face mask. I was making head wraps, and it was a way for me to earn money, but at the same time my network was expanded because everybody needed them. Then in 2021, obviously we're now getting used to this lockdown, or whatever they want to call it, the pandemic. We were in and out of the pandemic, and I realized all of these new clients that came on board that bought the face mask and the head wraps weren't aware that I'm a designer that makes special occasion wear. So what I did, I started to post more of my old work, some sequin prom dresses, post pictures of things that I was currently making. And then those clients were like, hold on, you make dresses? I'm like, yeah. Tailor-made, yeah. Bespoke, would you come to visit me? Would you come and measure? So then I started to tell people, this is who I am. And then last year I found there was a group on Facebook, I believe, or it might have been on Instagram. I think I think I saw the video on Instagram, but this particular mentor has a group on Facebook. So I connected with this young woman and started to network more with this group and learn a lot about branding and marketing, and realized that was my weakness. I wasn't marketing Solo Flair to the people of the UK. I wasn't like, okay, for example, if you look at McDonald's, a certain time of the evening, sorry to mention their name because I'm not supposed to be, I'm not promoting
No,
them.
no, yeah, obviously.
I'm not promoting them, but I'm using them as an example.
Brackets, yeah, we're using a bracket, okay.
They will promote themselves to us. We might be hungry around 9 o'clock, even though you just had your dinner maybe a couple of hours before, but you'll start to see more adverts around a certain time of night for wine, for cheese, for burgers, and you're thinking, what is going on? And it sticks in your brain.
Yeah,
And then
it
you
does.
remember, you might get a bit peckish at 9 o'clock and think, oh, let's go and call someone and order some food. So I realized in the pandemic of 2020 and 21 that I need to learn to market myself better. And the way I brand myself now and market myself, I do a lot more videos. I show people what I've been making. It could be even today, my latest post was I'm doing a wedding dress for a client who's down in Kent. And I'm showing people now how the process starts. It starts from, you know, a customer will approach me and say she will need something making, and I will sketch up a few designs, and then she'll select the design that she wants. I will then go and find some fabric and get fabric swatches, and then send the client the swatches so they can see what fabrics will work with the design.
Amazing.
As soon as they choose that design, and then it's literally, I'll go through the whole process. I'll draft a handmade pattern. Some clients like to use, you know, they might have purchased a pattern from, I don't know, a haberdashery store. So they'll give me that pattern and I will be able to work what size works for them in their paper pattern. But a lot of the times I do the patterns myself.
Amazing.
And I take the client through the journey until they see their finished garment, which actually makes them appreciate more the beauty of tailor-made bespoke clothing.
I love that. I love that, Marsha. Yeah. But I want to ask you, in all that, because you said so many things, so interesting things, and I'm trying to catch up, you know, some key information that you're sharing with us. One thing I want to know, because you mentioned we've went through your journey, where you were and where you are, but what was the turning point for you to actually become an entrepreneur? What was the turning point? Because you mentioned quite a few turning points. What the major one that say, okay, now I'm not doing freelancing, I'm not working for anyone else. This is my time. I'm going for it. What was the turning point?
The turning point for me was I was freelancing in London. I had been giving, I'd say 1,000% to this particular company, and they hired me an assistant. And I was a bit like, they've hired me an assistant, but I'm a freelancer. And then I realized that the assistant was taking on a lot more of my appointments.
Oh, okay.
I started to think, okay, Marsha, you're, what's the word that I'm looking for? I'm replaceable. I can be replaced in a minute.
The value that they put in you. Yeah, you become more aware of that. Okay, you got to put the value in yourself. I get that. I get it.
At that moment, you know, I remember being on the train, going to London. I used to leave my house really early, Laurence. I
can imagine. I can imagine.
5:45 train, because there was only one Virgin train that would leave Northampton at 5:45 to get you into London at 7:30. Or 6:30, sorry.
And the expenses? And the who was covering the expenses? Yourself or the company?
No, the company were covering my expenses. Okay. But the train ticket back then in 2017/18, it was like a £5,000 ticket for the year.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot of money, you know. So I remember going down on the train and I just said to myself, I can't do this anymore. I'm really tired. I've actually had enough, you know. It takes its toll as a mum when you have children and you're having to leave your children with their father and the grandparents to do everything. And there was one, I remember going down on this train on that particular day, and I remember my daughter saying to me the night before, Mummy, you're never there at school plays. You never pick me up from school. And it actually made me feel so tearful going down that train. I said, do you know what? This has got to change. I can't keep doing this, because what's going to happen is I'm going to build my career so much, but I've missed out on
that you can take back.
Yeah. And I always tell my friends and my clients and my family, you know, it's the little things that actual big blessings. It's the simple things, Laurence. You know, what's important to my children, I never thought was really important to them.
Any regrets? Any regrets?
Do I have any regrets? I can't say I have any regrets because my whole journey has made me who I am. I wish I had made this decision sooner. Maybe that is a regret, not becoming a sole entrepreneur sooner. But I guess everything happens for a reason. So I had to learn, you know, my worth and my value, going down on that train and realizing I'm giving too much to these people and they're not appreciating what I do, because it wasn't just a freelance job 9 to 5. I would bring work home. I was talking the time difference of India, Bangladesh and Hong Kong offices are very different. I was talking to sort of like production managers at midnight. You know, I've come home, I've had dinner, sorted out the children, and you know, it actually doesn't stop.
And actually, Marsha, those are unpaid hours that you wake up, you know, extra, giving 100% of yourself. But now we've listened to you, we've seen the journey, you see your determination, your passion for your work. Any tips for anybody out there who actually in the same industry or different industry, but want to, you know, get to where you are, you know, who are still stuck somewhere? Any tips, you know, just briefly? Yeah.
Okay. So anyone who is looking to start a business right now, if they're in their 9 to 5 job, you know, I would say if you can reduce your working hours, ask your boss, that's brilliant. And then obviously apply those hours that you had reduced into what you want to do as a business. I always tell people, research your industry.
Yeah.
Don't just say, oh, because your friend said you made a really nice cake, be the best baker in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Find, is your product actually, can you market your product? Is there a need for it? Because if there's no need, then you're going to waste your time, you're going to waste your money. And, you know, a lot of businesses do fail after 3 to 14 years. So I would always tell people to research their market. But at the same time, I am a person that always tells people to be your own boss. There's something more satisfying.
I wanted to hear that. Yeah, it's good to hear that. But you know, Marsha, the satisfaction about what you do, but also in your pocket. Is there satisfaction in your pocket as well? Because that's what people are interested in as well. They want to know how can you, are you able to get both satisfaction in your heart, in your soul, and satisfaction in your pocket? Are you able to get both?
You can. But the way I am, Laurence, I always say, if you look after your customers and you do things with love, eventually that money will come.
Okay.
If you focus on money first, your clients they will pick up a vibe and think this person's just money grabbing. They're just concentrating on the money. But if you do something with a genuine heart, you know, I always, even if I just make a head wrap, I go the extra distance, even just how I wrap and present my products. My clients start to realize, hold on, she's gone really extra with this. It's only a head wrap. You know, you know, I might put a little, I don't know, I do random things. I don't always do the same thing with each customer, but you will eventually break through in the monetary side of your business if you apply things with love first. I know someone might hear this video and go, oh, well, you can't do everything in love, because we all want to earn money. But I do believe if you do things with a good heart first, you will make that money that you dream of. Okay. I haven't made my goal, dream, salary yet, but along the way, all of my needs for my family and I have been met. And I think that because I'm being a genuine designer, I'm also a designer that is very ethical. So I don't like to promote fast fashion, which is buying things very cheap. You know, you can buy T-shirts and camis for £1 or £2. This throwaway fashion mentality has to go. We've got to stop that. We've got to, or I like to promote slow fashion, making things that that will last. You know, a classic suit that will last for years on years, and you just change it up with, I don't know, maybe a scarf or some accessories. You know, there's people in high-end fashion that spend thousands of pounds on that Birkin bag. They don't buy the bag
No.
for £10,000 and throw it away. They keep it, they store it, you know, they might sell it on as a charity event. But yeah, I could talk forever.
I think you can talk because you've got so much to say, so much in you that, you know, a lot of people can benefit from, Marsha. I can see that. I can see the passion. We can hear the passion. Now, the next step I want to ask you is, where can we get in touch with you? Where can we see your product? And, you know, can you tell us, you know, where to find you? Because at the moment you talk about virtually, but where? Can you tell us where?
Okay, so I don't have any boutiques as yet or any stores as yet.
Virtually, yeah.
You can find me on Instagram, which is instagram.com/Solo Flair Boutiques.
Yeah, you can see the details.
On LinkedIn,
Yeah.
under the name Solo Flair. You can also find me on Facebook, which is Solo Flair Boutiques #7 on Facebook.
Okay.
And also I have a TikTok page, so you can find me on, I think I'm called, on TikTok, it must be Solo Flair 1 because it's the same as my Twitter page. So you can find me on all the social media platforms. And you can also email me if you need me, which is marsha@soloflair.co.uk.
That's it. And Marsha, with all this, so we can find you on social media, we can contact you. And how easy is it to get your product, to access your if you want your product? Like, I'm interested already. I can't wait. I'm looking at your top. I really like everything. I'm thinking, oh, I want that. I want what I'm seeing. So, how soon somebody who ordered will get, you know, the product? Is it easy to get? How long will it take if you're in the UK, even outside? Because people will be watching what you're doing outside as well.
Yes, I have got quite a few customers. I've sent products last year to Ethiopia and to Ghana, and also to some relatives in New York. So, you know, I will say my business is international.
Good.
All the orders depends on the product. So, for example, if you wanted this lovely satin African print top, you know, from the time you contact me, it could be within 7 to 10 working days. Other things like wedding dresses, you know, I've got quite a few wedding orders this year. I've got a few big wedding parties. It takes about 6 months, but everything is dependent on the item that you're ordering. So a prom dress, for example, I've got a lot of prom orders coming up for this year, 2020.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's going to be big. It's going to be a big prom because they didn't have one during the lockdown. There was none.
So I've already had people give me their deposits in January. Wow. Just to make sure they get their prom dresses for the end of May, start of June. A lot of products, you know, if it's a beaded garment, it might take, say, 4 months. But if it's something really simple, it could take 8 weeks. It all depends, though, you know. So I don't want anyone to listen to this and think, oh, she's taken too long to make.
It's individual.
Yeah. So if you wanted, you know, I do make jumpsuits, I do make jeans. Some of these things take quicker. It all depends on the actual base of the fabric.
Okay. And Marsha, Solo Flair in 10 years, where do you see Solo Flair going 10 years? What's your vision for in 10 years? Because you don't have a shop yet. I mean, maybe that's not the plan, but we just want to know 10 years.
Yeah, I thought when I started my business and I write my business plan. I always tell people, write your business plan, write your ideas or write your vision down on paper. Don't just say, I'm going to do this, because it will never happen. Write it down and make it plain, and then you'll start to see the fruits of your plan. So in my vision in 10 years, I have a love for Ghana, and I've never been to Ghana.
Okay.
My family, a lot of my family are going back there. I've got family that I've already set up base over in Ghana. In 10 years' time, I see myself teaching textiles in Ghana.
Okay, beautiful.
Myself having a school in Ghana. I'm even starting to shake when I start talking.
Really? I need to stop you there because I forget what I want to say. You say your family is feeding in Ghana. Where's your family from? Where's your family at the moment?
So my family are in Accra. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
So my auntie, she's originally Jamaican from the West Indies.
Okay.
her and my uncle went and visited Ghana about, I think it's about 15 years ago now. They went
Wow.
up there for a holiday. My auntie is a teacher, and she said when she got to Ghana, there was something. She says, I will never understand until I actually get there myself. But she said as soon as her feet touched the land, she said they need to set up shop and start bringing us over there. So she built a beautiful house in Ghana.
Amazing.
She's doing amazing things, and every week she messages me saying the fabric markets, they're calling you, you need to come. And
Oh,
every time I've had an opportunity to go to Ghana, something's happened. So in 2018, I was supposed to go to Ghana Fashion Week, and then I was pregnant with my son, so I couldn't travel. And then I wanted
oh,
to go in 2020, and then we had the
oh
pandemic.
gosh.
I'm like,
Don't worry. Keep. Yeah, I know you're so determined. You know, I'm no doubt you ended up, doing what you want to do. And I think we'll invite you another some other time to talk more about that aspect of the business expanding somewhere else, because clearly you're having that door open to you, which is amazing, I think. And
yeah,
my last, because I'm looking at time as well, I don't want, to keep all our viewers for too long, but stay tuned because we have Marsha again, I can tell. She got so much. We've not, we've not been able to get all the thing we want from Marsha. There's more from her to share with us. Last word, final word, Marsha. What do you want to leave our viewers with? Last word for them. And also, is there anybody you want to, thank for, this journey is a long journey you mentioned since you finished uni and where you are today. Is there anybody in particular who supported you, genuinely, and that you can actually now say thank you openly in front of everybody, today? So, last word, final word for our viewers, and
okay.
thanking someone. Yeah.
So my final word to all the viewers here today is, if you have a dream to be your own boss, just go for it. When you believe you're in yourself, you can do anything. I always say the mind is an amazing tool to have. So just if you believe, you really can achieve anything that you want. Because I look at my life and think, in the last sort of like 11 years, I've been dreaming and thinking of these things. And now I look back and I'm actually living them. So
Yeah.
you can achieve anything that you want in life. I would personally, and it's a bit sad really, because the two people that I'd thank first, I'd first thank my Lord and Saviour, because
Amen.
I'm a believer, and I hope no one is offended by me saying this on this podcast.
No, we respect everybody's view. Yeah. So amen to that. Yeah.
And then secondly, he's not able to he might hear this, but my dad, he's my rock. And unfortunately, the year I started my business, in 2011, in August of 2011, my dad passed away of a sudden heart attack.
Oh, okay.
And we lost him at the age of 59. But my dad always gave me so much encouragement, and he was just amazing. So I'd like to thank my dad, Everton Brown, and then I'd also like to thank my partner, who's also called Everton.
Oh gosh. Interesting.
His nickname is David, so I want to personally thank David, because he's been a rock, supporting me all the way. He's seen me, the tears commuting. He's seen us, working really hard, creating some beautiful pieces. He's sometimes had to drive me up and down the motorway delivering.
Amazing. Yeah.
So, and I'd like
Men
to
out
thank.
there, I just want to say quickly, men out there, please listen. There are some good men out there. Ladies also. Yes. Carry on. Yeah, sorry.
And then I just want to thank everyone who has supported my business. My customers who are still with me. I've got clients from 10 years ago that are still buying products from me, not every week, not every month, but they will share my posts, they will recommend me to their friends, they'll bring in more business. I'm very thankful and grateful to all of my customers. Every single one that I've met over the last 11 years, some of them have become friends, and it's just beautiful to see that. So I can thank everyone else, but especially my dad, my partner, and my girls, my children, because they they put up with so much.
The part of the journey, isn't it? They've been part of the journey. So to
Yeah,
your dad, may his soul rest in peace.
thank
To
you.
everybody who supported you, really, we can see that they've done a good job because, today you hear Smiley, I'm sure there'll be ups and downs. And to viewers, we want to say thank you because we want to thank Marsha for really, sharing those personal, information with us and a lot of things that we don't hear every day. It seems, natural to Marsha, but, really, some people will definitely benefit from this, Marsha. Really, really, really. I'm going to say
Yeah.
thank you. And I hope your journey to Africa will continue because yeah, there's so much to say. There's so much. That's another topic for another day. October is Black History Month, so I might invite you again, Marsha. We have like few of us talking about that in more details, but it's so exciting to see how the world is changing. And on Laurent's motivation, I'm going back to what we do. So apart from encouraging entrepreneurs like Marsha, and I'm focusing on women, we're focusing on women entrepreneurs because I think women, we're a bit like incubators. We've got so much to offer, and if you give a woman something, she multiplies it.
That's
So
it.
that's why I'm focusing on women. And you can go on my website, which is laurencemotivational.org. You will find out more about the vision of Laurence Motivational. Apart from encouraging entrepreneurs, we also, help them to be more visible, and that's why I invited Marsha. We want them to be more visible, to access other network, and we're so happy that we can do it virtually now in the comfort of our homes, wherever we are. So women, men out there, please encourage Marsha. She's an entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you can also contact her. I'm sure. Yeah, Marsha.
Yes,
And
please.
yeah, and that's the purpose of Laurence Motivational. The other bit of Laurence Motivational is coaching. We do provide personal coaching and professional coaching because we think everybody's got something to offer. If it's embedded in you, it needs to come out, flourish. You've heard Marsha's story. That's exactly what it's about. So thank you, viewers. We don't want to keep you any longer, but Marsha, we hope you'll come again. Will you come again on this
Oh,
platform?
yes, yes,
Yes?
definitely come again.
And yeah,
Thank you.
and I will be one of your customers. That's definitely, I really love your I love your top. So, we will talk more about this. And so viewers, I will project. Don't go because I'll project some pictures, some information about Marsha's work, and then you can look at it and make up your mind. Don't wait for too long because she's gonna be very very busy. If you do, you might get 8 months on the line. So please be the first to contact her. All the details are being projected at the bottom of the screen. You can see it. And so stay tuned for some pictures, some details of Marsha. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you. Thank you very much. And
So much.
viewers, bye.